any questions with today's practice.
So you had the officials in today. What were you hoping to kind of see from these days?
They're here for 3 days, 2.5 days. So it happens every training camp. Tonight they'll present in the meetings rule changes, points of emphasis, and all of them. All of these guys are league officials. So they're talking to the receivers about alignments. They're talking to any questions that players have. But it's good to have, especially when we get our league officials out here for a period of time. Just getting used to what's going to be called, what's not going to be called, and then of course the evening meeting every year that they cover the video that we need to see. So it's good having them. I think it's good. It's good for all of these players, not just the younger players, but for everyone.
I know there's nothing that can be done about it, but are there any rules changes that are a little bit more concerning than others? Or?
No, there's just a handful. Point of emphasis relative to unsportsmanlike conduct. That's going to be something that they call closer. The pulling lineman in space when the corner takes on that block. There can't be an intentional cut now below the waist. There's a no-cut zone relative to certain plays in the running game or pass protection. So I don't know that there's any one big specific change, but it is important to be on the same page when the season starts relative to what are the changes and then what are the things that they're going to look to call maybe a little closer.
Did they mention the unsportsmanlike stuff to you guys today? Or not?
No, we'll have a meeting tonight. That'll come up tonight. So what they did today was just officiate practice. I'll introduce them tonight, and then they'll go through all of those things with a video tonight.
You're going to introduce them to CJ tonight, Gardner-Johnson?
Pardon?
I'm kidding. I said you're going to introduce them to CJ Gardner-Johnson?
No, look,
I'm kidding.
It's all of these guys.
Is there a big difference between the routes that tight end runs compared to the wide receiver?
No, I would say there's a complementary package of routes. Generally speaking, if it's an F tight end running a certain route, there's probably a slot receiver that has a similar route tree for the most part.
So for like Juwan Johnson, that's not like a huge jump?
No, I think to your question, a lot of those are routes that he's run when he was a slot receiver.
Hey Sean, yesterday the mayor's office said they'd been having conversations with the team about the attendance and all that. Have you heard anything or got anything?
No, I haven't. I haven't at all. But I'm sure those communications are taking place, and we're just focused on other things. That's someone else's department. I've not heard anything.
Sean, when you're grading the quarterbacks so far in this camp, what would you describe as the things Taysom has done well in this camp?
Well, look, plays break down, and it's hard to evaluate maybe a gain, with the whistles being quick. He's getting through his progressions quicker. I think that, those reps in this offense are what he needs. I think he's gotten the ball down the field at times, both of them, effectively. But the overall in and out of the huddle, up and down, and then through the primaries onto the secondary players, that's something that you're seeing a gradual improvement with.
You mean an improvement like over last year?
Yeah, absolutely. He's getting a lot more work at it.
Was that something you would say maybe he wasn't great at last year? Or?
Well, he just hadn't had when you don't get, he's playing a lot of different positions, so he wasn't getting a lot of the reps until the week he was starting. But that's an area that I know he's working on.
Sean, I know we've talked about Deontay Harris's offensive role growing for a couple of years. Is health really the only thing that got in the way of that last year? Or do you
No, we see the same vision, and we just got to be careful as to the balance of how much. But he's a smart player. He's exceptionally smart on the field. He's got a really, really good feel for timing, the passing game, zone and man coverages. He's one of those guys that doesn't really surprise the quarterback within the framework of what he does. So that savviness combined with his short area quickness and his speed, I do see an expanded role in just managing that, though, relative to the snaps he's getting as a returner.
Is he a part? I know you and Mickey have both said you like the receiver depth here. Is he one of the factors in that?
Absolutely.
More of a,
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
When you say the short area quickness, how special would you say is he?
Well, look, there's speed, right, that we can measure, and then some players, whether or not they have speed, some players can stop faster than others. He's one of those players that can transition and stop faster, and that's a second way that you can separate from a defender is understanding how to stop faster. He's strong in the lower body, and that's a strength of his.
Seriously about CJ though, is there anything about the way he expresses his competitive spirit on the field that would worry you in terms if they're saying he's going to track down on sportsmanship?
Yeah, look, absolutely. He's. I don't have right now in front of me the amount of penalties, but he's been at the scene of a few crimes. So, that's something we have to pay attention to. All right, thank you.
Thanks.